What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're doing alternate history part. I have no idea. That's the part. So yeah, I honestly have no idea what part this is in, but if you see anything little weird, little parts of the map that looks different, that's because I did have to fix the map. So yeah. But we're gonna get started right off the bat with over here. So over here, stuff has been happening, and well, not many people are still happy after the Great War, the first major war that happened. Well, they end up the orange team is back, and it does start off pretty big. It goes through the blue team, comes up. It goes right for that city, goes up a little bit more, and well, the brown team, and then it ends up right there. So this episode's kind of going to be the fall of most major empires. So if you don't want to see that, well, sorry, you're gonna have to, and some rise of some new ones, but not all major empires are going to be gone. I'm just saying they're going to be a little bit weaker. But now they need a capital. They decided on their old capital or somewhere close to it. I don't remember. But this is their capital, so it goes right there. So their capital goes right there, and there you go. The brown team is now back, and they are ready to fight. The pink and the blue team immediately declare war on them, but in other news, about 10 days before this rise up, the red, pink, and blue alliance immediately broke away. Like, it broke apart. These two still hold, the red and blue alliance still hold pretty good relations, but it is still not the best. But now you go ahead and actually have the brown team making most of the gains on this front, on the pink and the pink in their front. And the blue team, they are also kind of getting destroyed. And see, their alliance, they were going to back them up, but what are they going to do? Some of their alliance is over here, and over here. But while talking about these guys, they collapsed. They weren't able to hold because they had no trade routes and nothing like that. These guys, they refused to send them supplies. They just refused, and they collapsed because they were lack of supplies. And there are actually a little bit of pink team troops holding out about right there, and that's why you can see right here. And same with some blue team troops. So now you kind of have the orange team stalemating them, and now the blue team, they've never actually experienced this. They haven't been kicked in the butt this hard. Because the brown team, they decided that they were going to stop and wait. But while this was happening, the blue team... Oh my gosh, where's the blue team's capital? As I said, guys, map broke. So, there we go. I guess the capital's right there. But multiple breakaways was happening while this whole thing was going on. So you go ahead, have an orange country breaking away over here. Ends up like that. A green country ends up... this green country ends up being... No, not this green. we have another green country though, and it's a very dark green country. So it goes ahead and ends up here. And then what other ones can we use? We'll use light gray. So this light gray color is another country that broke away. So you have that one there. Actually, wait, no. The blue team still has a little bit of land right here. So you have that, and then also this orange team. So they all have their own capitals. This green team, that is obviously the well, their capital is right there. Their capital is right there. And then their capital is right here. So you go ahead and have a little bit more pushing in happening because these guys are at war with the blue team. But the orange team, they were able to push and take that out. And this bright gray country, they tried to push through this, but they weren't fully able to make a breakthrough. Same with all of the other countries. They were able to push a little bit, but then eventually they were slowed down and completely stopped. The orange team doesn't care about over here. They more so care about up there. Well, up here. So, with that, you now kind of have a lot more countries wanting to break away, like this little colony that they have. Luckily, they were able to get this colony under control. And the purple team goes ahead and declares war on this the blue country, and they make some naval landings pretty close to their capital, so they go ahead and make a naval landing right there. It's pretty big, actually, for that. They make a naval landing right here. And the purple country is definitely not as strong as the blue, but the blue's army is so spread apart right now, because they also have to deal with rebellions in the French area. So it is kind of struggling, because you gotta remember, I'm pretty sure the blue's the strongest country. And the strongest countries are getting their butt wiped. Like they're getting their butts wiped with like their own face, pretty much. And actually, a very important area was captured. This area over here. And they even made a naval landing in the colony that they just got under control, which is not the best for well, your country. They made one more naval landing, and it was down here. And now the blue team's in shambles, because they have to deal with multiple front lines with the with the purple, because the purple's also invading from up here. You now have a little bit of a green rebellion taking place in all three countries, except for the pink. The pink, they don't have much of it, but right now, the brown is kind of punching the blue and the pink in the face. But finally, the pink gets its stuff together, just saying now. And they do end up pushing back, and they end up almost encircling the capital of the brown country. Because remember, the pink and the blue, well, they do encircle the brown capital, but they're not weak countries. The blue, the red, and the pink countries, they are not weak. They are very powerful countries. And same with the blue. This blue is also a very powerful country, so they were able to push back. But this isn't the rise of more empires. This is the fall of major empires. Obviously, these empires will still probably might be the strongest or might be the weakest. Who knows? I do not plan these videos. They end up leaving the alliance completely, and there's some rebellions popping up in the blue, and they were able to convince the king to knock down the walls. Well, knock down some of the walls. They convinced the king to knock down all of those walls. That's it. And that. But then you go ahead and have the blue team capturing one of its cities back, which is great morale. But the orange team is now kind of in shambles, so they need some allies of their own. So they go and make an alliance. This shape. That's I know probably someone's gonna correct me in the comments. Go ahead. It's not a diamond. But they pretty much make an alliance with all of these countries. And surprisingly, the red country wants to join, but they don't at the same time because they don't want to just go to war with this. But eventually they were convinced to join, and, well, now you have a major war. Because the blue team and the pink team, they decide to put their differences behind them, and they decide to team up and go to war with the red team. And the red team did not expect the blue team to join, but, yeah. So, it's not so fun. These guys really want to join the war to go up there, but if they did, then these guys will join and push out to here and take their capitals, and they do not want that to happen. So, but the blue team, like I said, the blue team is not a weak country. They were able to completely take out some naval landings, like that one and that one. That one was able to hold, even grow a little bit. It was actually able to reach out all the way. By a little bit, I mean quite a bit. It ended up taking all of that, but it's still not compared, because they've lost more people doing that than the blue team has throughout not all of their wars, but this war. And on this front line, now with that new major support, because somehow, well, there is a little thing happening over here. A lot of skirmishes have been happening between these guys, and these guys. And now you have, well, technically, the pink, the blue, the dark blue, and the light blue are now technically all working together. But like I said, like I was about to say, you go ahead and have the brown team reconnecting with their capital, which is a huge morale boost for the brown team, and they end up taking a lot more than just that, but they even destroy some cities, like that one, which they completely demolish. They end up running, they pretty much just run at these guys, completely destroy that city, and they are now doing this new tactic, and it's literally any single man you are getting put into the army if you are captured. And don't think about switching sides, because they know. They just know. So, the brown team is quickly growing, and they are at least top 4 now, I'm pretty sure, or less, I don't know. That's not the right color. But you go ahead and have the blue team pushing in quickly into the red team very quickly, though. But while that was happening, they kind of forgot about the purple. So the purple did make some advancements, and they even were able to make it up to that river, and they just kept on pushing. They were eventually stopped, but not before they were able to capture the rest of this. And it's now starting to look like the brown team is going to join on that side, well, on the blue team side, because, well, Oh, wait, nope. I was just gonna say something, but they just did. They just joined. And obviously the purple team did not expect this, so the brown team did get a little bit of a head start. But then they went ahead and dug in around here. And you might be wondering, why right there? And why are they digging in? Well, for one reason, because now the blue team can come down and support these guys right here in the war that they just declared war on these guys. But give me a minute about that. These guys they dug in, so nothing's really happening between them. But the brown team is pretty much now trying to blast their way through. They did it started off pretty slowly down here, but with a lot of brown team citizens here, they were pretty much able to get pretty fast. And actually, even some men, once the brown team got there, they were even able to, they were joining the army. But now you kind of have a bad thing happening, which is, well, these, for this country, they've lost, like, at least 3% of their army is up here, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that they have a very big army. Their army for like these days, they have an army of at least 1,500, which is pretty big. So eventually, some people were captured of prisoners of war and pushed some more. But good news for these guys, don't worry, I'm not going to just bully them. They do end up making a little bit more advancements, and they still have their little shield around their capital. Like the brown team, they still have their little shield around their capital, so they don't have to worry too much about it right now, but still, massive morale loss if they can reach this wall. Oh, wait. They just did. Okay, there we go. They just reached the wall, and now that was a massive morale takeaway, pretty much. Everyone is saying this is going to be the end of the war, but it isn't. There's much bigger wars happening over here. For example, the brown team's kicking out the pink. They even made a little bit of an encirclement. The brown team and the light gray team, they went ahead and pushed up a little bit, but something happened where these guys and these guys, well, this guy completely left because he was done, and he straight up just declared war on the whole pact and still at war with the blue. He makes a naval landing. They make a naval landing. These two. So the dark green makes a naval landing around right here, and then the pink makes a naval landing right here. So now they have more now the blue team has more naval landings that they have to deal with, which is not good. So they were pulling troops out from here because they had a lot of troops stationed in there, and they ended up surrendering that over to the dark green country because the dark green country is at war with them, and now they have to defend that, which is going to be which means they have to pull troops from here, which is what they're doing right now. And also, yeah, it's just not good for either side, but still, the blue team country is very smart. But the dark green makes some major advancements, like, because obviously they were not expecting this, like the light gray country. But the light gray army finishes up over here, and then they go ahead and move down south. Because, well, I'm gonna just, they also leave the alliance, but they're still have really good ties. They just, because they don't want to be, they don't want these guys to have to deal, like, the dark brown and the red and the orange having to deal with them. But the orange still is technically at war with them, but the orange didn't leave, so. So with that new supplies that they did have, well, now the orange team just asked for all of their supplies back, which they sent a lot of supplies. So, yeah, a very big hole just opened up around here, which is not good, which means, yeah, that just happened. And a lot of both sides of troops pretty much just got encircled right there and right there. So, these guys, all three of these surrender, and now you realize that now they're going to face the same problem that the blue team was having. That's exactly what happened, because, well, another country just broke away. Dark teal country. No capital, they're just here. They don't technically exist, but, you know, they're moving pretty fast. And actually, this whole thing was a civil war. Yeah, pretty much. For a government change. And this is the creation of communism. They reach the capital, they threaten the government, and boom. There you go. These guys surrender over to them because they just lost pretty much all morale, and they were done. They died, pretty much. Their capital's destroyed, and now they only have to deal with, well, now the government pretty much residing here. These two no longer like each other, and now you have a little bit of fighting on this border, but then they realize that they should stop. These guys sign peace with the blue country. The blue country actually gets out pretty easily. They end up being able to keep all the way up to there, but losing the rest of this. So now with the Italian area figured out, this gets kicked out, that gets kicked out, and that also gets kicked out. Because those guys all signed peace, and all of those guys just went down to here, and yeah. But now you have a very big loss for the purple team, even bigger than losing like half of their country. They ended up losing pretty much all of their islands, well, all of their naval invasions, islands, and everything. And now you're left with this. They lost about 100 to 500 troops. The blue team did some more island hopping, and they're about to make a naval invasion until they realize, oh wait, I'm alone, I have no friends. Because right now the red team's pushing in, the light blue and the pink both just decided to straight up peace out on them. And they've not been sending troops over here, they've pretty much just abandoned this area. So the red team made a lot of advancements. now technically the peace treaty, but you see, there's, as I was saying, there was green rebellions. And since we already have a lot of green on our map, the purple kind of have to give up this, but like I was saying, we already have a lot of green on my map, so I'm going to stop using green as a color. A lot of countries will not be able to get some capitals like the orange, or this country, or like most of them. But now we only have one war going on, because these guys weren't, well, two wars, this one and this one. So let me quickly end the Siberian one, not the Siberian one, this war, the brown and light green. So they do end up coming to peace terms on the Greens' term, so they get to keep everything. So it kind of comes down to this. And you gotta remember the reason why is because technically the orange, well, not the orange, the brown was on the losing side of the war, so you can't really blame them. But they end up getting to keep that. And right there, yeah, they did not come up with a good peace treaty. But yeah, so now with all of this, it's not looking so pretty. The whole, definitely Italy, well, the blue country, not the purple. The blue country has definitely become weaker. Weak to the point where they have to sell some things to the purple country. They sold Sicily and their colony to them because they've been paying a lot of money to this country. That was in the peace treaty, so they didn't get away too easily, but they had to pay a lot of money to this dark cyan country. But now, for our last war, we're gonna have the brown country. The brown country does make a little bit more advances, but finally, the blue and the pink country sent over their peace treaties, and it kind of looks like this. So it goes up like this. That's the peace treaty. They literally sent over that. They said, okay. But the pinks, they were scared that they weren't gonna get away with it that easily. They asked for this back. And free, like, of a free ride home for these guys. And they said, no, you can just keep them there. So these guys are now both, the light blue and the pink country are now both colonizers, because they colonize right here and they colonize right there. So they are technically both colonizers. The brown country is kind of like squished now. They just kind of accepted the peace treaty. The pink and the dark and the light blue country both have to pay, like, they have to give like 100,000 troops, not 100,000, like 1,000 troops to the brown country, both. But yeah, so this is gonna do it for this episode, guys. Oh wait, sorry, not this episode. Sorry, I'm so sorry for saying that, but one more thing. This is the last thing. You have our favorite green country doing a lot of exploring, because he's pretty much, they're the only one over here. So they send out explorers over here. They reach cold up here. They're like, ooh, cold, we're not gonna go up there. So they go ahead and just keep on pushing down. And then they realize, huh, there's a lot of water here. They end up exploring most of the bay, at least. Well, not most of the bay, but like most of this. And the green country goes ahead and expands. They expand quite a bit. And there will be another video out later today, guys. Another one, yes, I know. You guys are like, ugh, I have to deal with him more? 2 months wasn't a long enough break. No, I'm just joking, but like, thank you guys if you guys do come back. If you guys don't, I completely understand. Yeah. So, there will be 3 videos out today. I'm back. Alternate history, part whatever. And then a surprise video, which you'll find out about an hour later, after this video gets posted. But, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys the best day, and also happy back to school, for my kid viewers out there. Trust me, I went back to school. I had no friends in my class, but I got over it, made new friends. I still have those friends, don't worry, I didn't just leave them behind. But, yeah, I hope you guys really did enjoy this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace. Bye!